Welcome to Danny Ludofia Animations, where we explore insightful and thought-provoking topics to inspire better choices in life and relationships. Today's video dives into an important issue that often goes unnoticed: the dangers of excessive age differences in marriage. While love knows no boundaries, significant age gaps can bring unique challenges that affect emotional connection, power dynamics, and even future compatibility. Stay tuned as we unpack this topic and provide valuable perspectives that can help you navigate such decisions wisely. Let's get started.
Helen, sweetheart, I understand that you're in love, but you're just 21. Don't you think this is a decision that requires more thought? Mom, I've thought about it. Paul makes me happy, and age is just a number. You always taught me that love is what matters most. Yes, I did. But love also requires compatibility and shared experiences. Paul is 63. He's from a completely different generation. Have you considered how that might affect your relationship long term? We've talked about it, Mom. Paul understands me better than anyone my age ever could. He's mature, caring, and has been through life. He offers stability, something I need. I'm not denying that Paul may be a good man, but, Helen, 42 years is a huge gap. You're at the start of your life, college, career, maybe even having children. Paul is at a stage where people think about retirement. How will that work? We'll figure it out together. Paul is healthy, and he supports my dreams. We've discussed everything, and I'm okay with what lies ahead. But have you thought about how society will perceive this? I'm worried about the challenges you might face. And what about his past? Does he have children? A family of his own? Yes, he has grown-up kids, and we've met. They were surprised at first, but they've come around. I don't care what society thinks, Mom. This is my life. I know, but as your mother, it's my job to worry. I want you to be happy, Helen, but I also want to protect you. Are you sure this isn't a phase or a rebellion? It's not, Mom. I've never been sure of anything in my life. I love Paul, and he loves me. Please, try to accept this. I'll need time, Helen. This is hard for me to understand. I just want to be sure you're truly happy and won't regret this later. I appreciate that, Mom. I know you love me, and I hope one day you'll see why Paul means so much to me. I'll try, Helen. But promise me one thing, always keep your heart and mind open. If you ever feel things aren't right, don't hesitate to come to me. I promise, Mom. Thank you for understanding, even if it's difficult.
Jerry, have you heard about Helen and Paul? She's really going through with marrying someone who's 42 years older than her.
Yeah, I heard. Honestly, I'm struggling to wrap my head around it. I mean, what does a 21-year-old have in common with someone who's 63?
That's what I've been thinking too. I just don't see how it can work long term. They're at completely different stages of life.
Exactly. She's barely out of college, and he's nearing retirement. How will they navigate things like starting a family or handling his health as he gets older?
Well, Helen says she's thought about all that, and she insists that love is enough to bridge the gap. But love isn't always enough when life gets complicated.
Right. Relationships take more than love. They need shared goals and mutual understanding of where you're headed. And honestly, I wonder if Paul truly understands what it means to be with someone as young as Helen.
Or if Helen understands what it means to be with someone Paul's age. What happens when she's 40 and he's in his 80s? That's a lot to take on emotionally and physically.
And what about his kids? I heard they were surprised about the relationship. How's that going to work? Family dynamics in situations like this can get really tricky.
She says his kids have come around, but I imagine it must be awkward. I just feel like Helen is rushing into something she hasn't fully thought through.
That's what worries me too. She's young, and sometimes we don't realize the full scope of our decisions at that age. Do you think there's any way to make her reconsider?
Honestly, I doubt it. She's stubborn and insists she's in love. But maybe the best we can do is support her and keep the lines of communication open.
True. If we push too hard, she might feel like we're against her, and that'll only push her closer to Paul.
Exactly. We should just let her know we're here for her no matter what. Hopefully, she'll see things more clearly as time goes on.
You're right. At the end of the day, it's her life. But I can't help feeling protective. I just don't want to see her hurt.
Me neither, Jerry. Let's just pray for her and be there if she ever needs us.
Paul, I've been thinking about everything lately, what people are saying, how my mom feels, and the challenges we might face. But no matter what, I want you to know something.
What is it, Helen?
No one can stop me from marrying you, Paul. Not my mom, not society, no one except God. And I believe He brought us together for a reason.
Helen. That means so much to me. I know this isn't easy for you, and I've worried about the pressure you're under. Are you sure you're ready for this?
I've never been more sure of anything in my life. I love you, Paul. You're my soulmate, my partner, my everything. I don't care about the age gap or what people think. I care about us, and I'll stand by you no matter what.
You're incredible, Helen. I've questioned myself at times, wondering if I'm being selfish by loving you, by asking you to face all this with me. But you've always reassured me.
Because I know what I want, Paul. You've shown me what love truly means: patience, kindness, understanding. I've never felt so supported or cared for.
And I'll never stop doing that, Helen. You've brought a light into my life I never thought I'd find again. I'll spend every day proving to you how much I love and value you.
I don't need you to prove anything. Your love speaks for itself. I just want you to know I'm here for you, through every challenge, every doubt, every triumph. You'll always have my love and support.
Hearing you say that gives me so much strength. We'll face this together, Helen. As long as we have each other, we can handle anything life throws at us.
Exactly. Let the world say what it will, we'll show them that love knows no boundaries, no limits. I'm ready to take this journey with you, Paul.
And I with you, Helen. You've made me the happiest man alive.
I just don't understand, John. How can Helen even consider marrying Paul? He's old enough to be her grandfather. It doesn't feel right.
I get it, Mary. It's not what we imagined for her, but Helen is an adult now. She's 21, and she has the right to make her own choices, even if we don't agree with them.
But what if she's making a mistake? What if she regrets it later? I just want her to have a happy, normal life.
I know you do, and so do I, but happiness doesn't always look the way we expect. Helen says she loves him, and from what I've seen, Paul seems like a decent man. Maybe this is what makes her happy.
It's still hard for me to accept. The age difference is so unsettling. I can't help but worry about the future.
I understand, Mary. But think about it. If we push too hard or try to stop her, we might lose her. She could shut us out completely. Is that what we want?
Of course not. I want to protect her, but I also don't want to lose her. It's just so difficult to let go.
It is. But maybe the best thing we can do is support her, even if we don't fully understand her decision. She'll need us, especially if things get tough. If we stand by her, she'll know she can always come to us.
You're right, as always. It's just going to take me some time to accept this. But I don't want Helen to feel like we're against her.
Exactly. Let's show her that we love her no matter what. If this is the path she's chosen, we need to trust that she's thought it through.
All right, John. I'll try. For Helen's sake.
That's all we can do, Mary. Let's be there for her, together. Let me walk you to the hall, my daughter. Today is your wedding day. Congratulations.
Thanks, Dad.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the presence of God and these witnesses to join Paul and Helen in holy matrimony. Marriage is a sacred covenant, a gift from God, and a reflection of His love for us. Paul and Helen, today you stand before God and each other to declare your commitment to love, honor, and cherish one another for the rest of your lives. As you exchange your vows, may they be a testament to your love and a foundation for your life together. Paul, please repeat after me. I, Paul, take you, Helen, to be my wedded wife. To have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, as long as we both shall live. This is my solemn vow.
I, Paul, take you, Helen, to be my wedded wife. To have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, as long as we both shall live. This is my solemn vow.
Helen, please repeat after me. I, Helen, take you, Paul, to be my wedded husband. To have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, as long as we both shall live. This is my solemn vow.
I, Helen, take you, Paul, to be my wedded husband. To have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, as long as we both shall live. This is my solemn vow.
Having pledged your love and commitment to each another before God and these witnesses, I now pronounce you husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no one separate. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, Mr. and Mrs. Paul and Helen. Paul, you may now kiss your bride.
I love you.
I love you too. Well, John, it's done. The wedding was beautiful, I have to admit. Helen looked so happy.
She did. I still have my reservations, but seeing the joy on her face, I couldn't help but feel proud of her. She made her choice, and it was clear she meant every word of those vows.
Yes, and the pastor's message was so powerful, especially when he spoke about the sanctity of marriage. It reminded me of how serious this commitment is, not just to each other, but to God.
Exactly. Marriage isn't something to be entered into lightly, and it's certainly not something to be abandoned easily. Helen knows that now. The Bible is very clear on this.
It is. Matthew 19:6 says, "What therefore God has joined together, let not man separate." Divorce is not an option, John, except in the case of unfaithfulness.
Yes, Jesus said in Matthew 19:9, "And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery." It's a serious matter. Helen must understand that this is a lifelong commitment.
She needs to remember that her vows weren't just promises to Paul, they were promises to God. She must work through any challenges they face together, just as we've done in our marriage.
Exactly. Every marriage has its ups and downs, but quitting is not an option unless there's a biblical reason, like infidelity. We need to remind Helen of that if she ever feels unsure in the future.
Agreed. I think it's our responsibility as her parents to support her and encourage her to honor her commitment. It's what God expects of all of us.
That's right. Let's pray for them, Mary, that their union stays strong and that they lean on God in every season of their marriage.
Yes, let's do that. At the end of the day, all we can do is trust that God will guide them and bless their journey together. Oh, Paul, this is absolutely perfect. Look at this room, it's so beautiful.
Nothing but the best for my bride. Today was all about celebrating us, and now, this is our time to relax and enjoy each other.
I still can't believe we're finally married. After everything we've been through, we made it.
We did. And I couldn't be happier, Helen. Seeing you walk down that aisle today, my heart felt like it could burst. You were stunning.
And you looked so handsome. It felt like a dream standing there with you, saying our vows. I'll never forget it.
Neither will I. Those words were more than vows, they were a promise, Helen. A promise to love you, cherish you, and stand by you for the rest of my life.
And I promise the same, Paul. You've shown me what true love means, and I'm so grateful to God for bringing us together. This is just the beginning of our forever.
Exactly. This honeymoon is our chance to start the journey in the sweetest way possible, just the two of us. No distractions, no worries.
I couldn't ask for more. Let's make every moment count. We deserve this happiness.
We do. Now, how about we toast to our new life together? To us, Helen, to our love, our journey, and the life we'll build together.
To us, Paul. Forever and always.
Excuse me, please. I am on call with my husband. He needs the address to my office. Hi, love. How's your day going?
Hey, sweetheart. Just checking in. I was thinking about you and wanted to hear your voice.
Aw, that's so sweet. I was just telling Helen how thoughtful you are.
Well, I miss you. Can't wait to have dinner together tonight. How about I cook your favorite?
You're the best. That sounds perfect. I'll see you soon, love.
See you, darling. Take care.
Love you.
Love you too.
Sorry about that, Helen. My husband's always checking in, he's such a sweetheart.
No need to apologize. You two seem really happy together.
We are. He's my rock, always making me feel loved and appreciated. Why? Is everything okay, Helen?
Honestly, Victoria, I'm feeling a little envious. You and your husband seem so connected, so in sync.
Oh, Helen. What's going on? Are you okay?
It's Paul. Don't get me wrong, I love him, but sometimes I feel like he's not as attentive. He doesn't check in during the day or surprise me with sweet gestures like your husband does.
I'm sorry to hear that, Helen. Have you talked to Paul about how you were feeling?
Not really. I don't want to seem ungrateful or make him think I'm comparing him to anyone else.
But you're not comparing, Helen. You're expressing your needs, and that's important in any relationship. Maybe Paul doesn't realize how much those little things matter to you.
Maybe you're right. I guess I just assumed he'd know. But seeing you and your husband, it made me realize I want that connection too.
Helen, every relationship is different, but communication is key. Why not have an honest conversation with Paul? Tell him what you're feeling and what you need from him.
Thanks, Victoria. You're right. I'll talk to him. I just hope he understands.
I'm sure he will, Helen. Paul loves you, he married you, after all. Sometimes, people just need a little nudge to show their love in ways we appreciate.
Thank you, Victoria. I feel a bit better now.
Anytime, Helen. And remember, you deserve to feel loved and cherished. Don't be afraid to ask for it.
Helen, you've been quiet all evening. Is something bothering you?
Paul, I think we need to talk.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Lately, I've been feeling disconnected from you. You've changed, Paul. You don't call during the day like you used to. You hardly smile, we don't joke around like before, and intimacy between us feels different too.
Helen, I had no idea you felt this way. Can you tell me more?
Paul, I know you're older, and I've always accepted that. But there are things I need as your wife, your attention, your energy, your presence. You used to make me feel so special, but now, it feels like you're pulling away.
Pulling away? Helen, that's not my intention at all. I still love you deeply. If I've been distant, I'm sorry.
I know you love me, Paul, but love isn't just words, it's actions. I miss the little things you used to do, like calling to ask how my day was or making me laugh when I'm feeling low. And in the bedroom, I don't feel satisfied anymore.
I understand. I guess my age has been catching up with me. I don't have the same energy I used to, and I never wanted it to affect us.
But it is affecting us, Paul. I married you because I love you, but I need to feel loved in ways that matter to me too.
Helen, you're right. I've been so focused on other things that I've neglected your needs. It's not fair to you.
I don't want this to become a wedge between us, Paul. I want us to work through this together.
Thank you for telling me how you feel. I'll do better, Helen. I'll make an effort to call you, spend more quality time with you, and we can figure out ways to improve our intimacy too.
That's all I ask, Paul. I want us to be happy together, but it is to be a partnership.
You're absolutely right. I love you, Helen, and I'm willing to put in the work to make sure you feel loved and valued.
I love you too, Paul. Thank you for listening.
Hey, Helen, you've been looking a little stressed lately. Everything okay?
It's just life, I guess. Some things have been weighing on me.
Well, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. Sometimes it helps to let it out, you know?
Thanks, Ethan. It's not easy to talk about, but I've been feeling really lonely at home. My husband's health has been declining, and things aren't the way they used to be.
I'm sorry to hear that, Helen. That must be tough on you.
It is. I still love him, but it's hard. There are things I need that he just can't give me anymore, emotionally and physically.
I can't imagine how difficult that must be for you. You're such an amazing person, Helen. You deserve to feel loved and appreciated.
That's sweet of you to say, Ethan. Sometimes I just feel invisible, like no one sees me for who I really am anymore.
I see you, Helen. You're strong, beautiful, and so full of life. Don't ever doubt that.
Permit me to sit down, please.
No problem.
You're kind, Ethan. I haven't heard someone say things like that to me in a long time.
It's the truth. You're incredible, Helen. Anyone would be lucky to have someone like you in their life.
Thank you, Ethan. You don't know how much that means to me right now.
I'm serious, Helen. If you ever need someone to talk to, or just someone to be there for you, I'm here. I am very serious.
I appreciate that, Ethan. Really, I do.
Helen, it's almost midnight. Where have you been?
Out. Just needed some time to myself.
Helen, this is becoming a pattern. You come home late, and when I try to talk to you, you brush me off. I love you, and I'm worried about what's happening to us.
Paul, I know you love me, and I care about you too. But let's be honest, you can't give me what I need anymore.
I know my health has declined, and I can't do everything I used to, but that doesn't mean I've stopped loving you.
I know, Paul, and I'm still here. I take care of you, don't I? I make sure you're comfortable. But I'm still young, I have needs, desires. Things you can't fulfill anymore.
Helen, we made vows before God, to love and support each other, no matter what.
And I'm keeping those vows in my own way, Paul. I'm here, I'm providing for you, and I'm making sure you're okay. But you have to understand, I need more than just a marriage in name.
So, this is how it's going to be?
I'm not trying to hurt you, Paul. I just need you to stay calm and accept that things aren't the same. I'll always care for you, but I can't pretend to be someone I'm not.
I just wish I could be enough for you again.
I know, Paul. But we both have to accept reality.